Hey there, I'm Joe Hunter, the creator of Astral Threads, and I'm pretty sure you're wondering, what the heck is Astral Threads anyway? So, Astral Threads is a cooperative storytelling game that uses this right here, a tarot deck for its cooperative storytelling mechanics. Now, I'm going to give a brief overview of what tarot is, and then how you use the tarot deck to actually play Astral Threads. So, a quick overview. Tarot is a deck of cards. I'm using a Rider-Waite deck, so it is 78 cards split into two different card groups. There's Minor Arcana and Major Arcana. So if we look at a few cards here, Seven of Cups. So we have the Seven of Cups here. This is going to be a Minor Arcana card. The Cups have a lot of meaning. The Seven has a lot of meaning. So this card in and of itself has a lot of different meanings. And then we have different cards such as Death. Now, Death is a Major Arcana card. This would be what we consider a extremely powerful card in Astral Threads, so kind of an anchor to everything you're going to do. So a couple other examples, we have the Lovers, for example, and the Lovers are all about love, unison, choices, harmony. We also have the Tower. The Tower in Tarot is going to be more about sudden changes, upheaval, revelations, destruction. So these cards can be used with any of their associated meanings to create different effects, different magical effects. And then in the Minor Arcana, there are four suits. So we have Wands, Swords, Cups, and Pentacles. As an example of how these cards work, so we have this Ace of Cups here, and the Ace of Cups signifies love, intuition, emotional beginnings. So this could be played with something like the Lovers as a very powerful new beginning of relationships. It could be played as a very powerful charm over a specific person or specific groups, and these things put together will allow the players that are using Astral Threads to create these magnificent different spells and or ritual. Go into how you do group play in Astral Threads. So you're going to take your preferred tarot deck. Any tarot deck works in Astral Threads. You're going to shuffle it. Quick and dirty shuffle on my end. Cards are a little stiff, but we have our shuffle cards, and then we're going to assume that there's three people playing this game and then one GM. So we're going to deal out one card to player one, another card to player two, a card to player three, and then a card over here for the game master. So we're going to do that until everyone has three cards. Okay, and then we have the deck here. The way that you give people cards in a game of Astral Threads can depend on the system you're using. So it's a system agnostic game. It can be used with Daggerheart, Pathfinder, D&D, whatever it is, even Call of Cthulhu, Powered by the Apocalypse games, Fate games. Whatever it is, it can be used with that different mechanical basis. And this is just what's typically done, but you might say, I want my characters or my players to have these powerful cards only when they do something absolutely fantastical. Only when they're doing something that is utterly amazing do they get these cards. So you might say, okay, here's your reward for completing a quest, or here is your reward for discovering a piece of eldritch knowledge in a game of Call of Cthulhu. And that's how you deal them out. But classically, it's going to be 3 cards for each player and 3 cards for the GM. Then the players will look at these cards, they'll say, okay, what do I have? I have 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, and 3 of Cups. So there's 2 different ways that players can actually play these cards. The first way is going to be in a hand. A hand is just typical poker hand, so 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. We're going to play that down. So the Pentacles is all about material wealth, worldly presence, physical health, just very worldly related things. And then the wands are all about creativity, ambition, and action. So I could say what I'm doing here, I have a 7 of wands and I have a 7 of pentacles. It's a pair. It's not a very strong hand, but it is a good hand to play if I want to do something such as conjure a bunch of fool's gold. So maybe we're trying to convince some merchant to give us all of their most powerful magic items. I conjure a bunch of fool's gold and make that into real gold. So the fool's gold is with the 7 of wands, and the 7 of pentacles makes that real. So suddenly I have a bunch of gold, and that will be negotiated with the GM. The game master might say, okay, you do this, but it's going to disappear over time. Or however you negotiate that. Maybe you just are able to make a ton of gold, and that's how you guys are playing the game. So it's a little bit loose on the core rules of what you can do, but it is a negotiation between the different players, the GM, on what you can actually do with the cards, the meaning of the cards. Another example is 7 of wands. Wands is about fire, so elementally it is fire-centric. 7 of pentacles is earth-based, so I could say, we are in a volcano. I am going to shape some of that magma into a bridge. It's going to solidify, it's going to cool into stone, into earth, and that's how we're going to get over this obstacle in this part of the game. So that's another way it can be played. And of course you can mix things together as much as you want. The other way this is played is going to be in spreads. So if we look at some of our original cards we were talking about, we can play them in a spread, and this would go around the table. So a spread would be player, 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 game master in this scenario. So let's say the first player plays the lover. We are trying to create a distraction. We are in a banquet, let's say, and we want to create a distraction. I'm going to have the lover be the basis of everyone here goes into a frenzy of wanting to get the attention of one other person. So a bunch of love triangles pop up all of a sudden. People start, pushing and shoving people around. And I have my player 2 here who says, okay, I'm going to play the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is going to really reinvigorate this process. So people are already getting into it, but now it devolves less into, people shoving and arguing about who they're talking to and who they're with, and turns more into okay, people are now getting so riled up that they are starting brawls, let's say. And that is a great distraction. But then when you play a spread, sometimes the game master gets to get involved and manipulate what's going on. So the game master is going to play the tower. So this is going to be played in its traditional sense of sudden destruction. So it's getting so out of hand, the hall that you're in is started on fire. Now everyone has to escape. You have to maybe save some people that are so caught up in these fights that they actually need to be pulled out if they're going to survive. The other option is the tower could be played in reverse, is what it's called in tarot, by the game master, and that game master says they all suddenly calm down. It spreads quickly. You get distraction for about 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then after that, everyone's going to snap out of it. They're going to go back to normal. They're going to think, what were we just doing? This is so crazy. So that is the main ways that you're going to play the tarot cards, and you can use them to manipulate what's going on in the game. So that is the very basics of how Astral Threads work. Again, this is usable with any system. Hopefully you think it's really cool. There's going to be probably around 20-page Zine by the time it's done, going over all the different cards, the rules for doing all the different spreads, the meanings of all those spreads, the different hands you can do, just a full complete package of how to bring this into any game. So I hope you are interested, and I look forward to seeing how Astral Threads is used in your games. Have a great day.